Okay, hello everyone, this is my new video. And yeah, I'm gonna try and start something where I'm basically just gonna ask everyone, ask people to ask their own questions, because with all this stuff that's been going on a lot, it's all questions to the atheists, and I'm fine with that because I will answer them. However, it's not, I don't know, it's just not completely true. And, there are a lot of theists who also ask questions, and they also are entitled to ask their questions. But on these episodes that I'm going to do, basically, people are going to ask me questions and then I'm going to answer them. And at the moment, I've got 5 questions which someone's asked me, which they claim proves the existence of God, or at least proves that there has to be something. Because after all, they said that God is just a label, and basically, whether you say God or not, it just means that atheism is a ridiculous idea and something is responsible for everything. So I've taken their 5 questions and I'll try and answer them as best as I can. Now, to anyone that's thinking, well, why are you now asking questions of people to prove that theism's correct, because you can't even prove that atheism's correct? Because of Shock of God's question, actually I have answered Shock of God's question. I've answered it, and well, he's never happy because he realises that actually he's going nowhere, and actually I answered him, and he made a video saying I didn't answer him and made up lies that I said that I haven't read the Bible, which I have done actually for my studies, my degree. And he said that I could not answer the question. Well, actually I have. He said provide proof and evidence that shows atheism is accurate and correct, and I said that for a belief to be true, or for a belief to be correct, in this case the belief is theism, the belief in God. For a belief to be correct, it has to be supported by evidence. If a belief is not supported by evidence, then the disbelief is correct. You can't just make some comment. You can't just say, oh, by the way, I've discovered a new planet in our solar system, and then you just expect it to be like accepted. And then if they say, okay, where's your proof? Then you say, oh, well, I wrote a book about it. You know, people have said they've had alien encounters and wrote books about when they encountered aliens. The book doesn't prove that it happened, just as the Bible is not proof for God. It's just silly, it's illogical. Yeah, basically, my answer is, since there is no proof for the belief, it is therefore correct to not believe in it. And if you do not believe in God, it makes you atheist. So atheism is accurate and correct because there is no evidence supporting the belief, therefore proving that disbelief is correct. Anyway, enough of that question. Let's go on to the questions I've been asked. And they are interesting questions. They're good questions, but they all can be answered. And God isn't an answer. Here's the first one. Atheism cannot be proven, therefore theism is perfectly logical. Theism is not perfectly logical, and atheism can be proved, and the way that you can prove any disbelief is to look at the evidence for the belief and prove that wrong. And since there is no evidence that supports that God exists, it's therefore completely logical not to believe in it. You wouldn't just believe in, if I said, oh yeah, I discovered a new planet, you wouldn't just believe in it. If I could prove to you that there was a new planet, then you'd accept it. But the reason there are atheists is because there is no proof for it. Which brings on to the next question. Atheists are the minority. The rest of the world cannot be wrong, can they? Well, actually, they can be wrong, and it's because of not understanding. This is a question that a lot of theists say that, well, there's so many people that believe in God in the world, it can't just be wrong. And actually, it can. It can be wrong. There was a time when most of the population, in fact, basically all the population, believed that the Earth was not spherical, the Earth was round. And there was also a time when no one believed in God, and they all believed in, well, pagans and stuff, and there was no God, and people believed that, like I say, the Earth was round, and people believed that that the sun orbited us. Yes, a lot of people can be wrong, and religion is historical, it's come from history. And when people were less informed, and when people couldn't answer something, so when the Egyptians said, gosh, that sun is strange, I wonder how it does it. And they look up to people who they expect to have the answer, who can't explain it. All they have to do is say God, and then no one can question them. It's just correct. So yes, they all can be wrong. The third question is that the Bible proves the existence of God. Like I said, the Bible does not prove the existence of God. If I say to you that I've discovered a new planet, or I've said that I've been abducted by aliens, and I wrote a book about when I was abducted by aliens, it's just the same as saying, oh yeah, God exists, and I wrote a book about it. You would not believe that I had been abducted by aliens just because I wrote a book about it. And even if I've got some of my family and some of my friends to write segments saying, oh yeah, he came back one day and he was like terrified because he'd been abducted by aliens, and there were other accounts in it, does not make it true. And it makes it even more invalid when the book was actually written well after my death, just as the Bible was after Jesus' death. There is no proof for the Big Bang or evolution is the fourth question. Well, actually, there is proof for the Big Bang. And actually, this question is kind of stupid, saying God must exist because there's no proof for evolution or the Big Bang. Proof for evolution, there's fossils. If you don't believe in fossils, you're just stupid. It's not just atheists that believe in fossils. Fossils have been found. They're not just made to say, oh yeah, you're all theists, you're all wrong. The fossils are there. They've been there all this time. We just haven't had the technology or knowledge to discover them. They've been there. The dinosaurs existed. We have proof that the dinosaurs existed. The fossils are real. They're much more real than a belief in something that we cannot understand or anything, such as God. Proof of the Big Bang. There is a lot of proof of the Big Bang. The fact that all the planets are moving away from the centre of the universe. It's just, there is so much proof, and that question is just really uninformed. If you want to find out more proof about the Big Bang and evolution, then there's loads on the internet, and you can definitely find that from people much more knowledgeable on the subject. And the final question is, something cannot have just got there, it had to be created, proving the existence in a creator or God. This is a question that gets me a lot, and maybe I'm going to be influenced by other beliefs, because I am a Buddhist. I mean, I'm still atheist, but I am a Buddhist, and maybe this might influence me. But no, first of all, by the same logic that something could have not just, by the same logic that says it could not have just got there by itself, if you are logical, then you should also say, well, by the same logic, God could not also have got there by itself. And then when you start saying, oh yeah, well, God doesn't, it doesn't apply to God because God's beyond all these laws, well, then you're just completely losing me, because you can't claim something is wrong because of logic and then say, well, actually, the thing I believe in at the end of the day is illogical. But, your belief's illogical, so therefore it's wrong, even though mine's illogical. It's just stupid. And I love it when Christians say, oh yeah, but God's beyond the laws of physics and he's timeless and endless and everything, because equally then so could everything. It's not logical. It's completely illogical. It had to be created. I mean, I don't know how the universe was created. I mean, I have a very good idea of how the universe was created. I don't know how all that thing got there. But I'm not going to say that God put it there, because then who put God there? By the same logic that you could say God's timeless and endless, so could the matter that caused the Big Bang could also be timeless and endless. And if you believe that God's timeless and endless, then you must also be willing to believe that the universe has been timeless and endless or whatever, because it's still the same logic. So that's my answer to the fifth question. They're the 5 questions I've been given. If anyone who's watching this is a theist, then please do ask me questions. I'm trying to defeat atheism, and if I'll take the first 10 or so, or maybe 5, if there aren't enough other big questions. First 5 to 10, and I'll answer them here. And if I can't answer them and you beat me, then well done, and I'll read all these questions and I accept them all. I don't necessarily agree with them all, but I do look at them and I do assess them. So if you manage to defeat me and I can't answer your question, then yeah, I will be willing to accept different ways, because I don't know. I'm not saying I'm agnostic though. I am atheist. I do not believe in a God, but I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for watching. Yeah, and if you've got any questions, please put them in the comment. Thank you very much.